This is how I should be.
Answer every question. Yes. I own an aluminum company. What's up, guys? And welcome back to the Paper Jacket Podcast. In this episode, we talk with Gabe Mueller from Deltona Aluminum. He is the owner of a family business that's been around actually since 1987 out of Deltona, Florida, hence the name Deltona Aluminum. He's also a really good friend of mine, so we have a little bit of fun with each other, teasing each other in the podcast. So hope you enjoy it. What's up, Gabe? Thanks for joining our podcast today.
Thanks for having me.
Heck yeah, man. So I need to ask you, why did you shave your face?
To be honest, there was a little spot right here that wasn't growing in of the mustache, as my daughters call it, and I don't like it.
I like the mustache. I thought it was going well.
I mean, it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. That's why I stopped too, yeah.
I actually don't. I feel like it was more work than having a full beard, or what I could do with a full beard. Full beard.
Yeah, I don't. Has hair ever grown between your ear and your chin?
If I let it grow from my head down.
Yeah.
It's a faux burn.
Mm. Well, what was the reason your wife liked your mustache?
She liked Goose from Top Gun, and it reminded her of Goose from Top Gun.
So your wife was like, I like this. You remind me of another man. So
that's pretty much how it went down.
I'm sure that was nice. So my wife said she likes my mustache, but then I found out that the reason why she likes my mustache is because she likes facial hair, but I have too much white coming in on my beard. So
distinguished.
I said I look like a sexy silver fox, and apparently I just look like an old man.
I mean, I'd tone it down a little bit, but
I am foxy. Gabe, always good to having you. For everyone in the podcast to know, Gabe is one of my best friends growing up. We've been knowing each other a long time, and I say one of my, but you are truly hardly that. No, but also Gabe Gabe has been a client of Paper Jacket for quite a long time, and as Deltona Aluminum, which is a family business, you have been serving Christ and the community for over 30 years. Is your slogan, right?
Serving the Lord Jesus Christ and you since 1987.
That's before you were born, right?
2 years, yeah.
2 years before you were born, yeah.
I'm second
So how
generation.
have you been serving people since 1980? Where do you get off, Gabe?
I was a twinkle in my father's eye.
You were the twinkle. You were the twinkle in the eye of Deltona.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, interesting enough, though. Family business. Mm-hmm. You are one of 6 kids, and you were the one who took it over, huh? Mm-hmm. Why did that happen?
Well, I mean, I'm the youngest of 6 kids. They stopped when they reached perfection. It only seems right that I'd take over the family business.
I'm going to take a sip of whiskey, but that's not because I'm drinking to that.
I mean, if you want cheers to that.
More like me saying, this is going to be a long podcast.
Truly a more honest answer with that. I mean, I was probably the only one who was interested in it. Me and my brother are both very hands-on. For one, he lives in Colorado, so it doesn't really make sense to take over Deltona Aluminum. Although if he was living here, there's a very good chance him and I would be business partners.
Well, that's probably true. I mean, your entire family is very impressive when it comes to the work you've done. So let's tell us a little bit about Deltona. Like, how did it start? Ultimately, what do you provide at Deltona Aluminum? Because some people might not understand what is so special about an aluminum company.
I mean, well, at the basis of it, we're an aluminum specialist company, meaning that's what the contractor's license is. It's a specialty contractor's license for aluminum. And that's things like screen rooms, including pool enclosures. We'll do seamless gutters, soffit fascia. Some of the other things that we've added that branch out from that, vinyl siding. I've even done some other types of siding and replacement windows. I was just doing some replacement windows today, actually. And so a lot of the product that we use is aluminum.
Yeah.
And so there's
probably aluminum was probably was probably used more in the late 80s, early 90s when your dad started the company than vinyl, right? Or am I wrong on that?
For siding purposes, yes.
Okay.
But it's been a thing for I don't even know how long for screen porches, and that's the difference is it's an actual construction material rather than using block or using wooden studs, your standard 2x4s or whatever. So it's another type of construction that's used.
True.
Now it happens to have a groove in it where we can roll in some screen and spline with it. But we build other things with it. We build Florida rooms with it, which actually I wish the grooves weren't in it for that because I don't need them. I'm not putting any screen in it. It's getting some windows put into it. So it comes with its own engineering specs to it.
Yeah.
And so that's where it just differs from your standard construction.
Sure. Now I'm sure that probably most of what you do has to do with screen rooms and enclosures, windows and siding. Would you say, or probably and gutters? That's probably the four main services that you're called out for. And then, like you said, because you branch off on many other things, but
yeah, exactly. And it comes in waves. It feels like what we do right now. We're going through this wave of everybody wants Florida rooms, so they want to turn their and we'll do what's called a conversion of their existing screen room. We'll reframe it out, square it up, everything to be able to have windows installed into them, and then they're able to put an AC unit if they want. Just make it a little bit more enjoyable. Some people will call it a 3 seasons or 4 seasons room as well, but that just helps keep the wind, the dirt, and the rain out of there, and just like I said, make it more enjoyable for throughout the year.
Yeah, it makes sense for 3 or 4 seasons everywhere else. That's why we call them Florida rooms in Florida, because we only have 1 season for the most part.
I suppose in South Carolina, there'd be South Carolina rooms, or I don't really know how that works.
They have seasons in South Carolina. Yeah, I mean,
we have
how many seasons do we have
hotter.
in Florida? Yeah. No, we have humid and hurricane season,
which is even more humid because the rain keeps coming.
Yeah. That's what we're in right now. I don't know why I'm wearing this jacket. Anyway, so Gabe, tell me about your journey taking over your dad's business. Maybe a little bit about how your dad started the business and stuff like that. I mean, you guys are like a staple in this West Volusia County area.
Yeah, so 87, my dad and his neighbor actually got together and they built a screen room on the back of my parents' porch. His old business partner, which was his neighbor, came to him and said, "Hey, I know what I'm doing with this. Let me help you, and we could, get this done." Well, a builder happened to see them, liked their work, and asked them, "Hey, can you start doing some work for me, putting in some of these screen rooms?" So they were like, "Well, I don't see why not." And so they did, and that's the basis of how it started out, which ended up being in their garage. They started out just the two of them. They quickly moved up, and there was a lot of small-time builders in the Deltona area. So the word got out. There wasn't many aluminum guys out there. They quickly started doing some soffit and fascia work too, a lot of that for new construction. And then it really went in the early 2000s, took a huge boom, and we started expanding out towards Palm Coast. At that time, I was an hourly employee. I was one of the 14 crews that were going out there installing these things. And Yeah, it did unfortunately take a turn in 2009, 2008 timeframe when the housing market crashed. Never wanted to build it back up to what it was, with middle
Decided
management.
to downsize, a little bit.
Even my dad and his business partner split ways. His business partner was already up in the Palm Coast area, so he kind of took over, that. My dad retained the name Deltona Aluminum because obviously it's associated with Deltona.
Yeah.
And he, like I said, he just let it dwindle around for about 10 years about 10 years. He let it kind of he didn't do any advertising, anything like that, just word of mouth. And he did a couple of his other side hustles, if you will. Until 2019, he came to me. I had already left the business.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough work for me either, so I had left the business. But he came to me 2019 and said, "Hey, I want to retire. I want to hang it up. I'm either going to sell the business or unless you want to take it over." I said, "Yeah, let's do this." And I'd really liked what he had started with it. I don't know the exact year, but both my father and his business partner at different times, or at different places, I should say, but almost around the same time, they both got saved. They came to know Christ. And so at that point, it was like 91 or something like that, they both dedicated the business to Christ. And they didn't look back from that. And it's proved to be, as we bless God with the business, we feel like God blesses us back as well. And we're not ashamed to say who he is in our lives. And so we put that at the forefront. And we get a little bit of flack from it. I'm just being honest. But it's one of the things I've wanted to carry on as my dad has passed the torch to me.
Yeah.
And he's still a part of the business a little bit. He's kind of a snowbird. He's
your snowbird employee.
He makes some phone calls. He's got a place up in North Carolina, and he makes some phone calls. Some people don't even know that he's up there. We were just talking about it, and so he'll be my secretary from North Carolina sometimes.
I'm sure he says, like, "I'll be right over," and then well, I know that you've helped rebrand it, kind of build it back up a little bit. And it's an interesting industry now compared to when it first started. I bet, I know that one of the hardest things is actually finding people who know as much as you do in construction, with like doing screen enclosures, doing gutters, doing fascia. A lot of those contractors don't exist as much as they used to.
I'll say this, as a general rule, what I see from my experience, guys my age,
Sure.
at least.
Yeah.
Because I know some guys who are older than me, who are fantastic, and I'd recommend them. But it is hard to find guys my age. A lot of them who I see just want to get in, out. They want to get the job done. Quality may or may not be there. And, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that, even though I say, we put Christ at the forefront, I always try to tell people that I'm not going to say Christ's name and then not back it with integrity.
Yeah.
And what me as a Christian, I understand I'm kind of almost putting a target on my back by saying that, because now people are going to say, "Oh, well, you claim you're a Christian company and you did this, that, and the other to me." Well, they don't have to say that, because usually I get raving recommendations from people. And I'm not trying to, puff myself up or anything. But I truly do care about people. I care about representing Christ. And, I want the work that I do to be more than acceptable. I want it to be, my dad always calls me an anal analytic. So it's a blessing and a curse. I'm a perfectionist. Some of my guys who work for me, I'll have to nudge them a little bit. Hey, that's not good enough. Yeah. And they don't like that sometimes, but they know me. They know I treat them right. So they're happy to do it. And yeah, so that's been the trouble of navigating it with my business is not so much, God brings the work.
Yeah.
It's the workers, finding people who I could trust. And I do, I on occasion find people who I can trust. And sometimes they come and then they go, and then I have to, go digging again. So there's few and far between.
Sure.
That I can find for that. So I actually am doing, I say probably 90% of the work myself.
Yeah.
At this given time.
Sure. Well, I know that you've also purposely not expanded too much. You're very specific about your radius. It's not very large. It's West Volusia, right? So, what does that cover? Maybe 15 mile, 20 mile radius.
I don't know. I've not actually looked at the radius of it. Yeah, we say West Volusia, so it's Deltona, Orange City, DeBary, DeLand. We get over to, which is technically West Volusia, like Pearson, and although not often. The very western Volusia area.
Yeah.
But I don't usually go over to the coast, and I usually don't go into Seminole County.
And you do that just so you can kind of help control the quality of your service. That's what you've told me in the past.
Yeah. Well, there's two parts about it. There's enough work to keep me busy here. Sure. So, I don't feel the need to expand out. And second, it's a good thing because, yes, if somebody gives me a call and says, hey, I have this slight problem. I don't know, my door's not quite working as well as it used to. Hey, there's a small leak here. Instead of me having to schedule to drive an hour, I say, hey, I'll be there in 30 minutes today, or if I'm not available today, hey, I'll be there tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And it makes it really easy for me to service, and that's huge for people. Right? Yeah. They don't want to sit there waiting if there's a problem. Yeah. So that's been very beneficial to for everybody to be in close proximity that I can just easily swing by.
Right. And I think that's good for your brand and integrity. Now, I have to ask you about this. For a small business as yourself, most people in your situation are like, I'm going to just do word of mouth marketing. I'm a very small place. But you were like, no, I really care about building the brand. And you invested in Paper Jacket doing videos for you and stuff like that. Why do you feel like that was an important investment for a small company like yours?
Well, see, my buddy Jeremy, he kind of strong-armed me.
Cut. Obviously, we have a relationship, but I don't downplay that. But at the end of the day, you've been doing it a long time, and I wouldn't disown you completely if you were to cancel. But why did you feel it was important to do that?
Well, just like I said before, my father let everything kind of just go to word of mouth, which is fine.
Yeah.
But eventually, if there's not enough business going around for that, that's going to dwindle off. And so what we were finding was the next generation or generations, they didn't know who Deltona Aluminum was.
Yeah.
And so first things first, I had to get back our website, which actually got stolen from the Chinese. Literally, I looked it up at DeltonaAluminum.com. I was like, okay. It says, oh, this is owned by, and it says Hong Kong or something like that. And they put a ransom on it for like, they wanted something like $4,000, something ridiculous. I'm like, you guys can keep it. I'll just put a dash, Deltona Aluminum dash.
Deltona Aluminum, yep.
Deltona-aluminum.com. Which actually now I've gotten it back. They reduced the price to something like $200. I was like, all right, fine, I'll pay you the $200 and we'll get it back. But it hasn't quite migrated over to it because we've been that. But that was the first thing I told my dad. I was like, we got to get a website back. I mean, we got to get this thing back into the 21st century.
Right.
And so, did that. Then honestly, I was talking with him and I wanted to keep things going the way that he had them established, with just some minor things. But, you came up in conversation. We knew you owned the, Paper Jacket Marketing
yeah, and for our audience to know, like this was like back in the day when I was partial owner of a Paper Jacket Marketing when we were a full service marketing agency.
Yes,
before,
which you're right.
Before we partnered with New York Ave and our media company. I mean, this client is that old, folks. Yeah.
Which actually ends up being a kind of small world thing because I used to go to youth group with Josh.
Yeah, you've known Josh for a long time. The guy who designed your logo and website is the creative director at New York Ave.
Yeah.
So you technically never left the family.
Yeah.
By any means. But why was video specifically important for you?
I think it's the best way to get across in today's marketing. I mean, there's all kinds of different avenues of marketing. I mean, you can do the billboards, you could do commercials on TV, which I guess would still be video. I wasn't about doing like the penny saver thing, again, because we're not focusing on price. We're focusing on quality and integrity and service. So doing some of those things, hey, get $200 off if you call us this month. I mean, that's just, those are just gimmicks in my mind. So what I really want to do and what I told you guys right at first was I want to stress the quality in our marketing. And so videos, I feel like is a good way for people to know who I am. Because let's face it, I pretty much am the business. We're a small business now. And it's also a good way to just have some creative fun. I don't know. You and I have been friends for a long time. We've always enjoyed it's actually our first bonding experience is making a random video. That's true. Like back in high school. When I dressed up as Santa Claus, right?
And funny enough, I got you to do it again like 12 years later.
I didn't even put the two of those together.
I'm the only guy to put you in a Santa Claus outfit.
A skinny Santa,
yeah.
Merry Christmas. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why Santa out here in broad daylight? Well, the truth is, I'm not really Santa.
No, duh. Can we get back to work here?
What? I'm working.
You was Santa.
Which one? In
your
Paper Jacket or the original Santa?
Well, I don't even. That's somewhere. I have it on DVD somewhere. It was back in like 07. But no, I'm talking about the one we did for Deltona Aluminum. What was your favorite one that we did of the Christmas skits? The one with your dad when it was like outside, the generic one, like Merry Christmas. Then you did the Santa's.
I think they all were with my dad, weren't they?
Well, no, they weren't. There was only two of them. There was that one, and then the other one was the what are you going to get everyone for Christmas? And then your dad popped in that video too. But
yeah, I think I liked the one. We were up on top of the roof.
Yeah.
And he was down below. Santa's up on top of the roof.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like, "What are you doing? Let's get back to work."
Yeah.
That was.
I've always been happy that you've agreed to do the silly ones with me. And because clients don't always see the value of that. Like you're like, yeah, sometimes I'm going to educate and sometimes I'm going to entertain because that's what people are on social media to see.
And honestly, I get more comments on the funny ones. I get more engagement with people, even in person. I rarely hear people say, "Oh, yeah, that was very educational. What you said there. I like what you said there." They're like, "Oh, that was funny. That part, that Santa Claus when you were ho ho ho," and I don't know, whatever.
And you know what I've noticed too is like whenever you've like wanted clients to do a testimonial, they almost seem like happy to do it because they've seen the videos that you make. Almost like, ooh, I get to be a part of the video. I remember you did some work for my father, and he was in the video at one point.
He was in
now
video.
He acts like he's insulted every time he's done a video. He's like, when is he going to call me again? I want to be in the video. And, so you've almost created like this little following.
Tell him we've got a Santa outfit for him. I don't think he needs much. He's already got the beard. And
I don't think I got you the extra skinny Santa Claus one.
Yeah. So you have to show a picture of your dad now to show him.
My dad looks like Santa. So just the white beard part. Yeah, that's it. But I think it's always been good that you showed your brand as like, hey, just because we're small doesn't mean we're not going to be this strong company that can handle a very large project to a very small project. A lot of times they think of like, just a few guys or even one guy in a small area. You're not really marketing. You're not doing much. You're just kind of almost like what your dad was for 10 years in certain ways of just a word of mouth. Just, oh, yeah, if you need the small repairs, this guy's got you. No, you're a legitimate contractor and very, very good, mind you. Like, seriously, when Gabe says he's a perfectionist, he's the guy you want to hire. And I've always really respected that approach. That you're like, I'm going to remain small, but I'm going to look the part for a quality company with a good reputation, and show it off in that way too.
And we can handle the large projects. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not. I don't do stuff for builders very much. We got out of that. For like new construction, and we're not doing a whole lot of commercial stuff, very rarely. But some of the bigger projects, like I've done some large pool enclosures, because I do have still resources. I have people who I can pull from, and just to be transparent, we use subcontractors for labor when I do need to bring in some extra.
As almost any construction company kind of has to do, yeah.
But I will say this: it gets a bad rap from people. They'll say, "Oh, well, we use all in-house people," and while that's great, the bad apple for contractors who use subcontractors is when they just let them loose, and they're not.
They just farm it out. They're just collecting profit on top of the job, sort of situation.
I should have used some roofer friends of mine, but long story with it. I ended up having another roofer do for my old house, and the contractor, got everything set up. Subcontractor came out, and actually they were a great crew. They didn't speak any English, so it was pretty hard to communicate with them, and I had to work through some things with them. Not once did somebody from the roofing company show up during the project or even after the project was over. And they promised to. They never did. And that's not the way I operate.
Yeah.
Even with the subcontractors out there, I'm on the job. I'm checking over their work. I'm oftentimes, they're working with them.
Yeah.
Whether I'm letting them foreman it or whether I'm the foreman. But either way, I'm calling the shots.
Sure.
When it comes down to it, I'll pull rank on somebody. Say, hey, we need to do it this way. This is what Deltona Aluminum stands for with their quality. I'm not going to let this slide. And that's the peace of mind that people can get, whether they're using a subcontractor, whether I'm using a subcontractor or whether, in-house guys. It really makes a difference because I'm overseeing that job.
Right. Well, Gabe, I'm happy to see your business doing well. I'm happy to see you take over your family's business and keep that going. And as much as I hate to say it, you have a lot of integrity. No, you're fantastic, and you've talked to me before. I remember one time I said for a video idea, I was like, "Do you have a lot of repeat customers?" You're like, "I have almost all repeat customers," and I'm like, "That's awesome." I mean, not a lot of contractors can really say that for someone who's as niche as you, and keep it up, man. And I'm really happy for you to be part of this podcast, dude.
Yeah, well, and I really appreciate it. I'll keep it short, but I really appreciate Paper Jacket honestly, did bring us into the 21st century and has taught me a little bit about marketing, has been a fun company to work with. And it still is a fun company to work with. I jumped at the idea coming on this podcast. Like, hey, yeah, get to hang out with my buddy, and always pleasure working with your team too. So we love it. I'll keep doing it as long as I'm with Deltona Aluminum.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Thank you.